Students from Stoneman Douglas High in Florida are on their way to the state's capital to pressure lawmakers on gun control. They boarded buses earlier today and will be making their case once they arrive in Tallahassee. CBS News correspondent Adriana Diaz is traveling with the students and joins us now. Adriana, give us an idea of what the mood on the bus is like.
Hi, Tanya. Well, we have many students on this bus. There are 3 buses in all and 100 students roughly heading to Tallahassee. We are on the Florida Turnpike making this journey. For them, this is more about just their school. People told me today before boarding the buses that they want to do this for students everywhere and in the names of those 17 victims, their friends that they lost. Right now, things are pretty calm. As you can see, a lot of students here talking to each other on their phones, talking about what they're about to go through. They're going to be meeting with lawmakers tomorrow at the state capitol to discuss gun legislation. Some folks told me, they don't have all the answers, but they need to start the conversation. And because of what they've been through, because of their perspective, they are uniquely positioned to do so. I was just talking to Mallory. How are you, Mallory?
Okay, how are you?
What are you looking to talk to lawmakers about?
Well, we're talking in lieu of the families talking right now, because right now they're in mourning, and so for us, it's our job to be strong for them and speak for their kids who are victims in all of this. We would like to change their minds and, create stricter gun laws. That's our goal here.
You're a junior. You normally would be in school at a time like this, but you're taking on this charge. What is that like for you?
I mean, we're kind of doing the job that these lawmakers are supposed to do, but we're students, so right now it's kind of like a flip of positions because we're going to be teaching them and they're going to be the students, and I guess we're trying to take on their jobs right now as lawmakers and help them understand why this is so important to us and to the whole country and to the state.
Thank you so much. Tanya, student after student has told us that their generation is relentless and they will not stop until they see change.
Adriana, obviously you've been speaking with students all day. Have you spoken to any who were present, who were eyewitnesses during the shooting?
The majority of the folks that we've spoken to here are upperclassmen, and the tragedy that unfolded was in the freshman building. So a lot of these folks are here because, they are in a position right now where they feel they have the strength to go forward and to do this for some of the students who are not ready right now. And so they're doing that for those who can't.
Absolutely. I'm sure for all of those students, this is somewhat of a life-changing or life-altering event. I mean, as you just were speaking to that student there, she should be in class today. They should all be in class today, but instead they're heading to Tallahassee to educate the adults, as it were. It's so interesting from your perspective as a journalist talking to these students and covering this story. Do you think that the kind of change that these students are trying to enact will be the lasting change? Because after all, they are the voters of the future.
And they know it. A lot of these people on this bus right now are 17, just on the cusp of 18. We have some 18-year-olds, and they are ready to vote, and they want their friends, they want their parents, they want all adults and anyone of age to vote. We actually heard about a pre-registration gathering at one of the high schools because they have their eye on the midterm election. And they told us, some of us can't vote right now, but we can be heard. And the second we can vote, we are going to cast those ballots. So they are looking at this, they're looking at the election as a way to actually bring change.
And Adriana, are you hearing some specific agendas articulated? You said they don't have all the answers, but what do they seem to be calling for specifically?
They're still in discussions about what exactly they want in terms of a list. But what we have heard repeatedly is a ban on assault rifles. That has been paramount. Students have told us we're not calling for all guns to be banned. Some of them told us we understand that the Second Amendment is important, but this is really where the conversation starts and where they're trying to figure out where they can come to a consensus with each other to see what they want to present to lawmakers and then with lawmakers.
Really is the generation of the future. I'm sure that listening to these conversations just gives you so much hope because it sounds like it's a real give and take, a real dialogue.
Indeed it is.
All right, Adriana Diaz, thank you so much from your reporting there.